Kaiber Transform. We're going to go over and do a deep dive. What is Transform? It allows you to do a video to video, pretty much of masking or styling whatever video, either, you know, personal video, YouTube video, any digital media video that has to be MOV or MP4 file for a max length of 4 minutes, and also the max file size for that has to be under 200 megabytes. Again, just quick recapping that. MOV or MP4 file, max length of 4 minutes, with a max data size file of 200 megabytes is what Kaiber AI's Transform videos able to use. This is also the prepaid plan, and I'm not sure how the free or trial, what those limitations are, so just correct me if I'm mistaken on that. But I'm using the paid plan, and I have max length at 4 minutes with the I know it doesn't show it, 200 megabytes is the file size. So where will I be using for my video sample for the purpose of this? I'm going to go ahead and use Pexels, and the other one is Pixabay. They're all free. Just stay away from the sponsorship. Just make sure you're using the free, royalty-free videos. Okay. If you want to learn more, you click here and it redirects you to a YouTube video where it covers the different styles. Pretty much reiterate what I've already mentioned for the basics of what is Transform. So let's go ahead and begin. I've already got a video that's 6 seconds long with 4.33 megabytes, so it's well within the parameter of the limitations. So let's go and grab that. All it is a simple video of someone kicking the soccer ball. Just going to play it. There's sound involved, but it's just pretty much the sound of the kick. That's all it is. You can add in sound in as well if you want, but I've noticed, like, I prefer something that's not with audio, and I like to do that with using my favorite, like, editing tool afterwards, using Transform to add in the audio at the end. But that's just my preferred way of working with Kaiber Transform tool, from just using it many times, and it's just more convenience, because it just helps. There's times where I'll just stick a video file with the audio and I just use it the way it is, so it's just really a personal preference. So let's begin with the prompt. So again, the prompt is very important because pretty much what is it that the video we just saw? Well, it's a person, right, kicking a soccer ball, literally. It's pretty much what it is. You don't want to just put in something totally different, like, I don't know, someone pulling a lemon down the street. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. I mean, you could probably do it, but I don't think it would turn out the way it is because it's only a 6-second video. The style, so this again is the prompt. It's very key important. It's like bread and butter. Besides the style, the whole thing for this Transform is all about styling and masking. So this is really important as well. I like intergalactic. There's many other styles. We could do cinematic and etc. For those that watch the 1 minute-ish video of learning about Kaiber, it goes over the different style visuals of that. So I also like to use another application called Replit. So what I'll do is I took a screenshot, right, of the person kicking the ball, and I use Replit. What is Replit? Well, it takes the screenshot initial image and it gives you an output of a prompt of what it is. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly demonstrate that. I already got the screenshot, and here it is. And we're going to go ahead and submit this. When we get back to this, it's going to give us a general prompt. So that way, but I just want to show you for purpose of demonstration of this, while we're waiting for Replit to kind of give us the criteria of the prompt of what it thinks. So I have another video that kind of covers Replit along with another tool that I will go over later in this video. Let's go back to Transform. We have a default always set at 6. 6 is decent. That's only if you want to be more creative, right? For the purpose of this demonstration, we want 1, right? But my experience is between 1 and 3 is always the go-to for really sticking to the closest to the video, right? 2 and 3 kind of gives you the extra room for creativity. But if I want to use 6 or 7 as my other go-to, Evolve. This is Evolve Well, what is evolve? Well, the lower, the more stable to the video and style, and higher is more, yeah, exactly what it says. It's wild or more creative, imaginary. It will add in extra things of what the AI thinks of. That's how it is. I'll use 6 and 7 on certain circumstances where I want to be more creative, right? There's not much more of a subject fine-tuning. Let's say I'll use 6 and 7 if I'm doing a video of like outer space, of aliens, right? Well, I want that. I want that randomness sometimes. But if I'm doing this video of what we're demonstrating with the person kicking a soccer ball, I want between 1 and 3 for the purpose. So we're going to do 1. Let's see what happens. 1 is sometimes too realistic. We're going to find out right now. While we're waiting for this, let's get back to Replit. And we're back at Replit, and it gave us this prompt right here. So we can also do that. We're going to add this in later. So I'm going to copy that. We're going to add this in later because you're going to find out when we preview this. We're going to go over a little bit of the storyboards. So right now we're waiting for this to preview. Okay, so we have 4 preview. It's kind of too real to what we just saw. Yeah, the grass changed the background. See how the background is in the grass details? But the ball looks real. The shoes look too real. I love the back button. It's free, and I use it all the time when I'm doing the transform. I'm literally going back and forth, back and forth. So we're going to stick to this. Still interactive, but we want to change the evolve. I like to do 2 or 3. So we're going to do 3. I want to show you because it's all part of the tinkering, exploring, and learning, and just full of creativity, okay? And I'm just showing you my workflow of transform. There's many different ways to do this, but this is just my the way I do things. So we're gonna use this later. So Replit Key was able to input the screenshot of the video. I just literally, the best ability is to screenshot whatever you're focused on, the leg, shoe, soccer, and it gave me this output. It's nice that it's by the artist on the style. It gives you the styles, which is perfect to work with here. And so this is what I'm kind of looking for, right? Because the other one was it just looked too real, right? And I want it more. See how the background is pretty cool, the grass. Well, I'm not going to pick that one because it literally just went weird on there. Look at the shadow on that. It's just kind of crazy looking. The shadow doesn't look real. This one, interesting. The shadow doesn't look real here. The shadow looks weird here. I do like this one, but I don't understand where this window came from. So that's the beauty of hitting the back button. Right, we're gonna stick to the prompt. Do it again. I'm gonna pick 2. Looks like 2 might be the winner here. While we're waiting for this, we're going to go back to another version I already made. I'm just going to show it. It's already pre-done. You can see that I added more in one story. I will get back to this, okay? So this is what was already created. And this is what it was created. Same thing. And there it is. But the problem is we're seeing some random hallucinations. It's called hallucination, where the AI decides to add weird things out of the blue of the video. So we can get that. And it happens, okay? So I'm just showing you a demonstration. I want to say this is an evolve of 3, I believe. So that's why, like I said, the higher the evolve, the more random weirdness it gets. That's why 1 tend to be a sticky point. I think we're at, see this? Weird. I like that one. It's pretty nice. That one added random person. See how we're adding random persons? So that's the thing that can get tricky. I don't know if I want to do this one. Now here's the thing. I usually click this and just create video. Since we had this, I didn't like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply. This is the beauty of this. Kaiber decided to add in several new features, right? To change the logo. They added the more length, more file size, more preview images. The beauty of it, they added storyboard. We're going to actually use this. So we're going to select this one. Check this out. Storyboard time. We're actually going to use this. Copy just like this. We're literally going to paste it in here. Storyboard allows you to cut the video and pretty much segment as if you're reading a chapters of a book, right? Picture that, or a TV series, right? Season 1, 2, but split into different sections. That's the key. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in there. Pretty cool, right? And I also want to add in a different style. So you can see that the close-up soccer ball on the field, the detail painting. So we're gonna change it and stick to the painting. We're gonna do watercolor. Pretty cool, huh? So we're gonna do that, and also what we can do is a ball and field. We're gonna add in background. This is what my creative juices is going here. Background is of an indoor stadium. Let's see if we get this. There it is. So that's the beauty of storyboards. Exciting. Storyboard can be longer. Obviously, we're working with a really short 6-second video, but I just want to demonstrate this. We go here, and where is the timestamp? So this is only 6-second video. We want it at the 4 seconds, right? Let's just do halfway, 3. See how it splits it? Pretty nice that Kaiber Ai added this feature in Storyboard. So let's go and preview. The only tickler out of this is I only get 1 preview versus the 4. It'd be nice to conform to the 4, right, of the previews. We only get 1 here. So again, this was using replicate, and I added an extra one. I want to see if it can pull in that stadium right here. Just curious to show you guys. It's just kind of my workflow of idea thinking, creativity, literally on the spot. It didn't really necessarily capture the other one. It did in the stadium, but this is what we got. So the beauty of it is we can always hit the back button, which I did, and we're going to do it again. Same thing. Just make sure, keep in mind, just make sure everything looks okay. Cost 35. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get the stadium. Yes, the back button is one of my favorite preview buttons for when I'm doing this for transform, because I get picky. You want to make sure it flows, right? While we're waiting for this to generate, we can also right click and then just open another tab and literally start another project. So I believe let's go back. Just going to create another project. Remember, I had chosen this bunch here, so I'm going to go ahead and I already download it, and we're going to put that in there right now, and we'll get back to this. Okay, just let that load in. We're going to get back to this. We're back to what we did, and there it is. Look at that. Perfect. We got the stadium. Can add in the story. Since this is so short, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hit create. While waiting for this to generate, let's get focused on this. So this was the video I grabbed from Pexels video, free. You can also do Pixabay. Pexels is a good one. This one's going to be a little trickier. There's certain things that Kaiber Ai Transform is good at, and there's also things that it struggles with. The pros of this is it's pretty smooth on, right, if it's a singular object. And see how it's singular, it's very smooth, see that? Yes, it's hallucinating, I know, I get it. Because I think this was a higher evolve. And it's smooth on if it's still, see how it's blurry? So, pro, single object, and it's slow motion, and it's just a singular subject matter. Cons, action, movement, quick, especially quick movement, it blurs out. And more than one faces or limbs, meaning arms, hands, and feet, it just struggles with, okay? It's just how AI generation art is right now at the time. So, yeah, we're gonna get back to this. So, it's a lot of stuff going on here. This will be a good sample size. It's within the measurements of under 200 megabytes. 4 minutes or less is 13 seconds. And that's why I wanted to showcase this, because there's been a lot of questions in the Kaiber Discord of, okay, how do you stabilize the faces or the limbs or get what it is? Well, I'm showing this example on purpose because this is a huge challenge for Kaiber Ai Transform to deal with. We have multiple faces, we have multiple limbs, we have movement and action, and it's going to be a challenge. The reason why I picked the other one, it was even simple, it still had a challenge. You saw, right? It was hallucinating random stuff, and that was only on, I believe, a higher evolve. So here's the percentage. We're still waiting for this. Let's see how I like how Kaiber Ai added. I know I'm jumping back and forth. They added the percentage. So let's just focus while we're doing this. Let's focus on this one, okay? We're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna walk you through the best ability of what I'm gonna do for tackling this short video. Let's begin. We're going to use replicate, for this purpose, because we're going to need the assistance of it. So I have a picture of here, which I screenshot, and we're going to go ahead and just use this for assistance, because I definitely agree that we're going to need some assistance here. While we're at it, we can also kind of generalize, right? So what is it that we just saw? Well, we just saw a group of people playing soccer, right? But the problem is, with that thinking, the AI is going to literally pull in just random group of people. So that's why the purpose of replicate really helps kind of better define, maybe, even though it's not the best. So it really depends on how you gauge this, right? What is it that it was doing in the video? It will have one person kicking a ball towards a group. So that's what we're going to do, right? So we're going to do a person kicking a soccer ball, right? The better, because you have to say ball. If it's a ball, it might shoot a basketball, baseball, whatever. You know how AI is. A person kicking a soccer ball to a group of standing people, because that's pretty much what I visualize, right? So this is where the weights come in, right? We want to focus on, right? Well, what is prompt weighting? Well, we want the soccer ball to be weighted, so it goes off a scale of 2 max, right? So we're going to do weight, excuse me, this, we want a quotation of that, just like this. Okay, so we want the focus is the soccer ball, right? So group, the thing is, there's a person kicking the soccer ball. We want to focus the soccer ball to, we want the person, let's see here, which is the male. So we're going to focus on the male. Okay, we're going to do 0.4 on him. And then the group of standing people, right? So we're going to do people. And you can gauge on how to, so weights can be a little tricky if you don't understand what weights is. All it is focus on the outcome of that particular object or area. So just keep that in mind. We're going to do this might not work. So we're going to do like this. We got to have it in order here. The max, you don't want to go anything over 2. We're going to try this one here and see where it leads us here. For this purpose, we want, so last time we picked was, let me see, let me just check here. It's at 30%. We picked intergalactic. For this one, I want kind of close to cartoonish in style of this. Replicate finally gave us this. So we're going to go ahead and use this later on. I'm going to go back, get back to this with us here later on. Let's go with the video settings. Transform. This one I definitely want to focus, since it's really a lot going on. I want it as 1. Remember I told you for other purposes I'll use between 1 and 3 is my go-to areas. I really want to stick to closest to the video, because the lower is more stable, higher is more loud. I'll do 6 and 7 if I'm doing like a example, like a universe, really non-fictional, like make-believe, like outer space or aliens, stuff like that. Just really manage it. I'll do 6 and 7. One of my favorite settings, default or 7. For the purpose of this, I want 1 for this. And we're just going to go ahead and get the preview here. We're using weights here. We're also going to apply a little storyboard. We have 13 seconds, and I'm going to again reapply the storyboard for the purpose. You don't have to do storyboards. You can literally just hit create if you feel like you just want a smooth rendered video and just go with it, but you're definitely relying on both the prompt and the styling. So while we're waiting for that, get back to here. This is 43%. So again, the other tools, since you saw the presentation while we're waiting, you saw that I think it was like a minute and 30 seconds of just various transform videos that I had used and where it can apply and what it was applied for. I also was using a tool that I do showcase in another video. It's called FLTO. You're able to grab a video from YouTube and literally copy the YouTube link in here and convert it and download it from there. Obviously, replicate I use and file converter, because Kaiber AI only allows MOV and MP4. Well, this allows you to convert into the MOV and MP4 files and just want to explain those areas. Alright, let's get back to this. We have, pretty cool, right? So this is the photorealistic. Okay, pretty gnarly. Look at that, let the person focus. Soccer ball's tiny though. That's crazy. Look at this one. Soccer ball is random here. Okay, the person, everything looks interesting. We have multiple soccer balls, and then we have this one. So sometimes you gotta just get back to what was the video on, right? So we're just gonna get back to this. Okay, so it was in mid-flight. See how I revert back, like a technique or kind of thing to revert back to the video here. You can see this. It's nice to use pixels, and it just replays it. All right, so we see where the focus is. Now we go back to here. So this is where kind of like it rolls the dice, but it's also the creativity and you trying your best ability to. I know it sounds weird, but we're like guessing because it's only as best as what we're using here. So this one I don't want to do because I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, so it's hallucinating. We're also hallucinating here, and if you don't like any of these, like I do like this one, but I'm picky about it. See the facial features. That's where I like the back button. I want to go with this one, but I don't know if he's going to be kicking another ball because I see a ball there. So we're going to click the back button, and we can go ahead and work with the weights. I believe the other video is done, so let's get back to that and we're going to focus back on the person. So here's the video. Alright, it turned out pretty interesting. This is using Storyboard. What do you guys think? We have Storyboard 1, person kicking the soccer ball from what I just made up in my mind, intergalactic. We have Storyboard 2. It focuses more on a close-up. See how it splits at 3 seconds? It shows you the rest. So we have an indoor stadium. I don't know if that's indoor. Did the best it could, but it works with the prompt flow with mirror watercolor. You can see the watercolor changing more. There's the watercolor. Pretty neat, huh? So there's that for Transform. So hopefully that kind of helps you guys get the gist of using. You can see that 1, 2, and then it turns into that watercolor later on in the background. I'm not sure if it changed as much there. Well, yeah, there it is. So hopefully that is a good demonstration. We're gonna get back to this. Let's focus on the prompt here. So it's pretty much we're using photorealistic, and let's go back to evolve. We're sticking to 1. And we get 4 previews, and we're definitely haven't forgotten to use replicate. And let's see here. So again, we're going to rewatch this while we're waiting for. Sometimes our preview takes a little bit longer than normal. So the one person is focused on kicking the ball to a group of the people. So there it is. Alright. Understanding the weights is optional, you don't have to, but it just helps focus for the AI to say, hey, I want attention for the male at this priority, the soccer ball. I might have to adjust the weight priority of the soccer ball. Maybe that's what's throwing things off. The people. So obviously the higher it is, the more importance there is. So we have now this. Interesting. I added like I don't see the soccer ball. Soccer ball's there. There's the soccer ball in the back. And there's the soccer ball. What's nice about this is I do like this one because let me go back to the replicate here. I chose there was no soccer ball, so that's the best one. I'm going to pick that one because there was no soccer ball. This one is hallucinating on a bike and some sort of here I don't like. This one definitely is already off, and this one's way off. They have 2 multiple objects. We're going to stick to this one. Now we're going to use storyboards. We're going to go ahead and take this out, and we're going to use replicates. So it says a group of people standing in a field by this artist, featured on Unsplash, etc., etc. It's a restaurant painting. I want to stick to this kind of style and see where this takes us. It's all part of the tinkering and exploring and just being creative, and that's what I really love about Transform. So we're going to stick to, we're going to have a timestamp. So I want storyboard here, and then we're going to have one more here. So we're going to stick to 13, so 12. What's 12 divided by 3? Well, we're going to stick at 4 seconds. 4 or 5, 4 or 5. I guess it's choosing 5. That works. Close enough. Let's preview. The thing is, it doesn't give me the option of tinkering the evolve. Did you guys notice that? So, unless I'm mistaken. So, unless I didn't scroll down far enough. But I don't think I sold that. So, again, you just gotta be patient. It depends on the server. Sometimes you gotta wait. I'm doing this live to demonstrate and show you guys. There's no camera angle. That's for the other features. So Transform, again, you can use a video from the internet, from your own personal archive video. Make sure it's 200 megabytes or less, and length of 4 minutes or less, and MOV MP4. That's for paid users. We had used replicate, input of the initial image, and gave us the prompt here that we're using. Storyboard we're using is Storyboard 2. I like this one, and we're gonna use it. So let's continue on. So if you like it, you stick with this. We're doing now Storyboard 3. This time, we're gonna go ahead and just really focus on a group of people. So we're just gonna focus on people. I want to do a weighted of the people at the weight of point. Really just focus on the people. See how that changes things. We're doing a little weighting. I'm going to stick to this because I really like the flow of this. And let's do the video setting. Again, I scroll down. It's not giving me the evolve option. So just keep that in mind. We have 5 and 10, or we have 11. This is, I'll go here. So we're going to let it flow. 5 and, yeah, that works. Just go ahead and preview. Again, back to the stickler. I just wish it conformed to adding, allowing us to preview 4 conformity instead of just 1. So that's, I know that that's been suggested for the Kaiber team to work on. That'd be great if they can. So this is storyboard number 3. We added in the weight of the people standing in the field and with the same styling. So let's go ahead and see what this gives us. And while we're waiting, again, I mentioned the pros and cons. Obviously, you can see the pros is this turned out well because it was this kind of one single subject and then another one that came in later. So it's already focusing on one subject the whole time, right? Even though it's a short video, it just demonstrates that as long as you can get your prompting correct with the evolve of between 1 and 3. Okay, it is a short video. The longer this goes, I believe the hallucinating and some random stuff, it can occur. It can multiply. So that's another thing you gotta keep in mind, unless you really understand the weights and prompting. That's why I'm showing you now with this longer video. Here it is. Okay, this must be halfway through the video. Let's take a look at the video again. That's why I like to see, there it is. That's what it was, and that's pretty much close to what we get. I like it, and this is where we create the video. So recapping all this, right? We have the pros and cons. So using a con, we have multiple people, multiple faces, multiple limbs and hands and feet, and we have action, a lot of action. This is my way of tackling this criteria, using a replicate, using free videos, using understanding of weighted the prompts. Okay, in the Discord Kaiber channel, there is a tutorial and it goes over an instructional guide of how to understand the weights, using weights. We have Storyboard 2 using replicate, and then Storyboard 3 with the replicate and assisted with the weights. So that is one approach to all of this. That's more trial and error. It's not like I just got here from trying. I've done this several times. It took me a while to learn. It's part of the growing pains of it. It will not process and take out my credits until it's done rendering. Let's see. What else are some other things that people can run into, right? It cannot, sometimes you might have errors. It just happens. And the best is to clear, like I'm on Chrome, clear cache and just log out, log back in after clearing the cache and just starting over. I know that's happening when the servers act up or the video just freezes up. It's because it's maybe busy, server overload, it happens. So I'm just explaining some real experiences. I am recording this on a decent time, so it is pretty decent for the server right now to run it. That's the reason why I did this recording for that purpose. And it showcases again Kaiber Ai Transform tool in regards to using short. You can do even longer videos. Like I've done longer videos, but I know that in the presentation I showed in the beginning of this, it was kind of cut, you know, in sequence. But some of those videos were at least 2 to 3, maybe 2 to 3 minutes long. So it can be done, and it's a really neat tool for many use cases. I'm only showing you how or what I'm thinking. But when I deep dive into Kaiber Ai's Transform tool, it is awesome. It's phenomenal, and I see this growing. I see more musicians and artists using, other videos. I know that I was showcasing some of my personal drone videos, along with some that were grabbed from YouTube using FLTV. Like I said, I have another video on that, how to use it, and to use it. It's free. It is free. Just sign in using your GitHub profile. It's free. File Converter is free. FLT is free. Like I said, Pixabay and Pexels are amazing. While we're waiting, I wanted to add in. So there was issues where people were asking in the Kaiber Discord how to stabilize the face, or how do you stabilize more of the flow. Like I said, Kaiber Ai Transform, it's the movement and quick action and stuff, it tends to blur. We're gonna find out here once this is completed. So the way I look at it is understanding how Kaiber Ai works. Well, it uses a large language model under the stable diffusion, right? It's kind of complex in terms of the machine's way of thinking, as it's ideal under a video rendered in 5x12. And if your original transform video has other objects besides your main character, which we just showed here, it tends to also shift and blend or overlap. Think of multiple 5x12 areas of objects and your main character overlapping. Therefore, it tends to either contort your video's main character along with the other things or objects in your transform video. Hope this makes sense, because in order to better control the variables that I mentioned, with the faces, limbs, etc., right? It takes some factors into play, right? And I already mentioned these factors, which are pre-editing your original video, right? Understanding the prompts and prompting weights that we're showing right now, right? The styling is key, huge, right? And other features of prompting, understanding how the stable diffusion LM work in general for behind the scenes when using the Kaiber Ai Transform features, right? And other prompt requests in Kaiber. This includes how the evolve and camera movements can also play on these variables. We're not using the camera movements because we're using a pre-video for that, so the camera doesn't really necessarily is involved, but the evolve is a big factor that I just showed you, remember? But these are all complementary to really knowing your main subject character or objects and things in the video, and other things to be rendered in Kaiber Ai's Transform features. So hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, I just want to share that. So it just takes a lot of experience, and not everything's gonna be possible. This is just the beginning stages for the Kaiber Ai's Transform features capable of. So again, this will be subject to updates and changes. So, but I just want to share my way of how I use, you know, Kaiber Ai's Transform. Alright, this is the finished video, so I'm just going to play it for you guys. And yeah, there it is. Not too bad. Just kind of strange that the username soccer ball was pretty about there in the beginning. So you can see still struggles with the face. I can see well there's multiple things going on. Overall, not too bad using storyboards. So again, this is this first storyboard. And we have a second one. And it shows you the timestamp. Right? And then we have the last storyboard. You can do a max of 5 storyboards total. So for those that are wondering. And there's the other timestamp of 11. So it is. So, and then if you like it, you can either upscale it, 4K, cost 3, 1 because of the criteria, and also you can download it or even, that's how you share it, just share a copy and share it. The only thing is when you share it, it only, at the moment, only shows 1, even though there's multiple prompts. So just for those curious and wondering, yeah, so this is what we got. Yes, it's still not perfect. I'm hallucinating with the soccer balls there, but it's a challenge because I've got multiple things going on, like I said. So there's pros and cons, and hope this video on Kaiber Ai's Transform helps. Thank you.